Fletch Brown here for another artist video blog at KIX96country.com. Our guest today, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, by way of Atlanta, Georgia. Please welcome to Kix Country, Barry Michael. Barry, how are you?
I'm doing great, Fletch.
Well, Barry, you come to us, again, I say from Nashville, but you grew up in, pretty much the suburbs of Atlanta, is that correct?
I was born and raised inside the perimeter. I'm a city boy.
Really?
Yeah.
So, well then how did you get from the city to the country? I mean, it's Georgia, so I mean, most of it's country anyway.
It's always a girl, Fletch.
It's always a girl.
Always.
Yeah.
And so I met this little cute girl, and of course, got the hots for her. She took me down to South Georgia to her family, the farm. My first real taste of the farm life, getting muddy, four-wheelers, deer hunting, just getting lost out there in the woods on thousands of acres of property that they had, and I just fell in love with the place. And from that point on, it was just like, you'll never uncountrify me now.
Yeah, well, of course, the single "Uncountrify Me"
That's right.
kind of harkens back to all that. Forgive R2D2. Well, let's just edit point right there. We'll get R2D2 out of there. I forgot to turn my
just to give you something to do.
Yeah, just give you something to do.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So then, you started singing early though. Your father's a Baptist minister. Is that correct?
He is a Southern Baptist minister still to this day. That's what he's done my whole life. My grandfather was a Baptist minister, so I come from a line of them. And I grew up singing in church, and I came out of the womb singing. Really, when I was a kid, I'd watch TV and memorize all the commercials that would come on, and just mimic noises and sounds. I've been doing that, since the beginning of time for me.
Yeah, and you've been on radio. I mean, you were on radio at like 4 or 5 years old, right?
Yeah, I was real fortunate. My father had a Saturday morning radio show, and it was WTJH in Atlanta, in East Point.
Mm-hmm.
And he would do a Saturday morning sermon, and before he'd go on, me and my sister would sing some songs, and he'd give us a chance to get in there. So first time I sang on the radio, I was 4.
So you're singing Christian music, gospel music at the age of 4. By the time you got to high school, you discovered you had some athletic prowess, so you kind of got sports teams and whatnot. You ended up going to college though, and kind of doing a year of business. Is that right?
Yeah, I took business courses. What I basically did, I knew I didn't need to graduate from college to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to start a business, and I love cars, and I grew up loving to go fast.
Need for speed.
I wanted to have every kind of car that I could possibly have without having to pay for them, of course, because I grew up very poor and kind of very moderate home life.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't need for or want for anything, but we also didn't have everything we desired as well. But that was cool. But I loved cars, and so I wanted Corvettes and Ferraris and all these nice cars. So I figured the only way I could do it is to start my own car dealership and drive all the kind of cars I want and sell them and actually make money off of them. So, and that worked out pretty good.
So basically, we start with you're singing in your dad's church group. You go to sports, on to college, you become a businessman. But here you are now. It's you consider yourself a jack of all trades because you came out of college, or you left the car business and started doing television. You had a gospel group, Alteration. Is that right?
That's true.
But now you're in country. So do you feel like now you're like, you know what? I'm where I want to be. I'm where I need to be. This is who I am now. Is all of that whole journey from a young age, singing at such a young age, going through all these different evolutions, finally ending up Barry Michael, ripped jeans and ripped blue jeans and ATVs is the album, and Uncountrified is the single. Is all of that journey part of just who you are now, and
it's all
where you need to be?
Played a big part in me becoming who I am right now, and I think it's all leading up to something as well.
So you're not done yet?
No, I don't think I'm done. I think I've found myself musically for sure. The country music world is where I was meant to be, and it took taking me to a professional artist development person to say, Barry, listen to yourself. You're country. Listen to you talk. You are country. And it was actually Jan Smith from Atlanta, she's a famous vocal coach and trainer and artist development lady. And she looked at me and she said, look, go write me a country album, and then let's see what happens. And so I did. I went out and started writing country music, and ever since then, I've never felt more comfortable in my musical skin.
Well, let's talk about your passions, the things about you that definitely fit the country mold. Obviously, with the Baptist upbringing, your very Christian upbringing. You have a love of the military.
Right.
Heroes and Angels was the song that you wrote for World War II veterans in Houston, right?
It started out as a song for the veterans in Houston to raise money for them to go and see the monument that was made for the World War II veterans in D.C. It's on the honor flight. And from there it's taken me around the world.
And you've also recently partnered with, was it Health?
HealthNet Federal Services
Mm-hmm.
picked up the song, and they wanted to get exclusive rights to it and exclusive rights to me. So I was under contract with them for a year, and really they just took me around all over the place and to different events, and it was an amazing year that I had with them. And we still work with them, just not exclusively.
Mm-hmm. So you basically, without even, before you even began singing country music, those things that made you intrinsically you, already you fit that mold for country.
Absolutely. And plus the business world too has helped me a lot, constructing contracts and stuff with these events. I mean, every event is a contract.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have a lot of business sense in the music business, you're going to struggle. And a lot of people that are in the business don't get that side of it. And I was very fortunate to cover some of those bases, when I was younger.
All right, well, let's talk about the album. Rip Blue Jeans and ATVs. Got 10 tracks on it. It's your debut album. The single Uncountrify Me. But have you written all the songs on this album?
I either wrote or co-wrote every song on the first album. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the single real quick. Uncountrify Me. Let's talk about it. You wrote that. Where did that come from? What does that mean?
It started out a song that I thought it was going to be something else. I thought it was going to be a song called Countryfied,
Mm-hmm.
how I had been turned country,
Mm-hmm.
instead of You Won't Be Able to Uncountrify Me. So sitting in the Waffle House with a buddy of mine that I co-write with. He actually co-wrote about half the album, named Corey Barker. Kudos, Corey. And we're sitting in the Waffle House, and he's eating his waffle, and I'm looking at him going, all right, here's the idea. I'm going to write this song. It's going to be about being countrified. He's like, no. That's already been done 1,000 times. He's sitting there just eating his waffle. I mean, he never slowed down, really. So I had this little notepad in front of me. I just had the word countrified already written on there, and I was just shaking my head going, well, that's the reason I drove up here, was to write the song Countrified. I said, well, daggone, we're going to write something. And so we just sat there and we looked at the page, we ate, and Corey literally picked up the pen, reached over and put a UN in front of it, and then we just sat there and looked at it. And both of our eyes just went, Uncountrify. Then I just wrote like me on the end of it, Uncountrify Me, and from there, we ate real fast. I got back to the guitars, and as soon as we got back to this house, we just threw it down in like 20 minutes and just busted out laughing. Like, this is just the total opposite of what I was planning on coming here for. But.
Well, Uncountrify Me is the single. It's on the album Ripped Blue Jeans and ATVs that you can find and all the internet. Go get it. Download. If you want to hear it, call KIX96. We'll play it for you. But that's not what you're going to sing for us today, is it?
No. I was thinking about singing one that is a little bit different, but at the same time, it's an upbeat, fun country song that has a funny story behind it as well.
Is it on the album?
Sure. Hotter Than a Tiki Torch.
Hotter Than a Tiki Torch. It's track 5 on the album, Rip Blue Jeans and ATV. I'm going to get out of the way and let him sing it for you. Barry Michael, here on KIX96country.com.
Torch. Live. She wakes up in the morning and don't need a thing. At the end of the day, she's fine as can be. My temperature rises at the sound of her name. All I can do is pray for rain. She's bad to the bone, every man's dream. Got it going on, if you know what I mean. She's a smoking, blazing ball of fire. Every move she makes, the flames get higher. Got a shake in a walk, it makes me melt. The coolest burn I've ever felt. The closer I get, the more my heart gets scorched. Yeah, she lights my candle, she's hotter than a tiki torch. Oh yeah. She crawls off the lounge chair, smoking in the sand. If you're sitting close by, you're gonna need a big fan. Got a heat index of 102 at 20 degrees. If she's looking at you, she's lava rolling down the mountainside, with nothing but ashes trailing behind. She's a smoking, blazing ball of fire. Every move she makes, the flames get higher. Got a shake in a walk, it makes me melt. The coolest burn I've ever felt. The closer I get, the more my heart gets scorched. Yeah, she lights my candle, she's hotter than a tiki torch. That's right. She's radiating creating. She's mesmerizing, captivating, tantalizing. She's a smoking, blazing ball of fire. Every move she makes, the flames get higher. Got a shake and a walk, it makes me melt. The coolest burn I've ever felt. The closer I get, the more my heart gets scorched. Yeah, she lights my candle, she's hotter than a tiki torch. Oh, yeah.
And that was Hotter Than a Tiki Torch from the album Ripped Blue Jeans and ATVs. Barry Michael comes to us all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Well, by way of Nashville, here in KIX Country. That's a great
all over
song.
the place.
That's a great song.
Thank you, Fletch. Thank you. It was inspired by a wonderful group of ladies.
A wonderful group of ladies?
Yes, yes. It's a funny story. Funny story. Well, my sister-in-law, God bless her, she calls me up and says, I only need you to do 3 things. She's throwing a party at her house. She calls the Spring Fling. There's about 1,000 people there. And my only jobs were to be the whole party, okay? You know, keep the dance floor rocking, park all the cars, and light all the tiki torches when it got dark. And so, no problem. I had already parked all the cars, you know, and it started to get dark, so I put on Baby Got Back. And, of course, the dance floor was rocking. And just a bunch of pretty ladies on the dance floor, you know, my wife included. So I'm lighting the tiki torch. And I'm looking, and the dance floor is off in the distance. As I'm lighting this torch, I'm looking at the dance floor, and burned my finger, and it hit me. I was like, she's hotter than a tiki torch. And, you know, of course, sitting around the campfire about 3 o'clock in the morning after the party, everybody had left. I pretty much had verse, chorus, and we were playing around on it pretty good by then.
Wow, and that's just, his music is obviously born of his pain. So, Barry,
so true, so true.
Where can we find you on the internet?
Well, it's real easy to find me. You can find my website at barrymichaelmusic.com. You can follow me on Twitter at bmichaelmusic. Trying to cross the 10,000 follower mark. We're up at like 9,400 and something, I believe now. So I'll be tweeting if you're out there. And it took me a while to get used to that one. Do I twit or tweet? I don't know. But anyway, Facebook, I'm the actual guy on Facebook that'll be answering you. If you want to talk to me, I'll be glad to respond. If it's, you know, a lot of times you think, I wonder if this guy's really responding to me. No, I truly will respond on Facebook. I love getting on there, you know, talking with people. I love meeting people anyway. So. Well,
what about the CD? Can you get on iTunes?
iTunes, you can search Barry Michael on iTunes, and Rip Blue Jeans is up and running, and you know, buy it.
All right. Well, the single, of course, Uncountryfy Me. You can hear it KIX96 if you call us on the request line and request it. And Barry Michael hopefully will come back for another station visit soon.
Oh, I'd love to.
All right, Barry, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Fletch.
And we'll see you again next time. Another artist video blog at KIX96country.com.